Chapter 7, Lesson 3, Solve and Write Subtraction Equations. Content target: students understand that properties can be used to solve and write subtraction equations. Our language target: students will demonstrate their understanding by writing and solving one-step subtraction equations using the properties of equality. Solve an equation by adding. Because addition and subtraction are inverse or opposite operations, you can solve a subtraction equation by adding, but that's only if the variable is in front of the subtraction sign. Like here in part A here, for number 1, w minus 7 equals 11, the variable is in front of the subtraction sign, so we would have to use addition to solve. Whereas in example 2, the variable is after the subtraction sign. If it's behind the subtraction sign, we're going to use subtraction to solve. This information is very important. You want to make sure you've stopped the video and write this down. So when I look at this example, solve x minus 2 equals 3. I notice first that the variable is in front of my subtraction sign. So I remember rule 1. If my variable is in front of the subtraction sign, I have to add to solve. So in this case, I have x minus 2 equals 3. To get my variable alone, I have to add 2 to both sides of the equation. 2 minus 2 is 0. I still get 0, and I still get my variable by itself. Then I have to go 3 plus 2, which is 5. So to check my understanding, where the variable is at, I put in the value of 5. 5 minus 2 equals 3. 5 minus 2 equals 3? Yes. So we know that x is only 5 for the variable, or for your value. So let's solve these down below. X minus 7 equals 4. Just like in this example up here, the variable is in front of the subtraction sign, which means we have to add to find the value. So x minus 7 equals 4. To get x by itself, I need to add 7 to both sides of my equation. 7 minus 7 is 0. Those cancel out. I'm left with my variable x. 4 plus 7 is 11. Let's look at letter B. Y minus 6 equals 8. Again, my variable is in front. So since my variable is in front, I have to add. So I'm going to add 6 to both sides of my equation. 6 minus 6 is 0. Those cancel out. My variable is by itself. 8 plus 6 is 14. Letter C. Now, this one here, the variable is still in front of the subtraction sign. They've just switched those around. It doesn't matter. It's still in front. I still have to add. 9 equals a minus 5. To get a by itself, I have to add 5 to both sides of the equation. 5 minus 5 is 0. Those cancel out. I'm left with a left. 9 plus 5 is 14. Here, I'd like you to pause the video and try these two out on your own. F minus 1 equals 5. Notice that the variable again is in the beginning or in front, which means I have to add. Rule 1. If it's before the subtraction sign, I have to add. What am I going to add? Well, there's a subtraction 1, so I'm going to add 1 to both sides of the equation. 1 minus 1 is 0. My variable comes down by itself, and then I add 5 plus 1, which is 6. 6 minus 1, 5. Yes, that works. Here in example 2, 6 and 3/10 minus w equals 3 and 9/10. I notice that my variable is behind the subtraction sign, which means that I'm going to subtract to find the value of w. So I subtract both 6 and 3/10 from both sides. 6 and 3/10 minus 6 and 3/10 is 0. I have a negative w, or the opposite of w, equals 9. Whoops. This is a negative 6.3 minus 3.9. And I get 5, 4. I get 2.4, a negative 2.4, the opposite. So the opposite of w equals the opposite of 2.4. Therefore, w equals the opposite of this, which is 2.4. And if I practice and I check, 6.3 minus 2.4, regroup, 13 minus 4, 12, 11, 10, 9. Decimal, decimal, decimal. 5 minus 2 is 3. I get the same answer as up here, so that's okay. The last one says George's height is 4 inches less than Sienna's height. Georgia is 58 inches tall. Write and solve a subtraction equation to find Sienna's height. So we have to write a subtraction equation. So let's see what we know. We know that Georgia is 58 inches tall. And Georgia's height is 4 inches less than Sienna's height. So Sienna's height is my variable because she's 4 inches taller than Georgia's. So we're going to subtract Sienna's height minus 4, and that's going to equal Georgia's height, which is 58 inches. So to solve for w, w is in front of the subtraction sign, therefore I have to add 4 to each side of the equation. 4 minus 4 is 0. I bring down the variable, and it's going to equal 58 plus 4, which is 59, 60, 61, 62 inches. And if I check to see if I am correct, if I take 62 minus 4, do I get 58 inches? 62, 61, 60, 59, 58. Yes. 58 equals 58.